Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sumner County Sports Show, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. I'm your host, Blaine Keller, sports editor of the Gallatin News, Hendersonville Standard, and Portland Sun. We've been taking our trip across a couple of fall sports here these past few weeks. You take it back 2 weeks, we talked with Liberty Creek football coach Bill Alexander. Last week, we had a great talk with Gallatin girls soccer coach Greg Harper. So now it's only fitting that we go to volleyball here to kick us off, which is crazy to think about. School started this week, and before we know it, I think in about 2 weeks, high school sports are kicking back up with football, with volleyball, with girls soccer, with cross country, and golf. Yeah, I can't forget about golf too. So everything under the sun's about to kick back up, and we're really excited about it over here at Main Street Preps and, of course, here in Sumner County. So we're going to talk a little volleyball today with one of the two schools, one of the two coaches that won a district championship last year in the volleyball ranks. It's Liberty Creek volleyball coach Aubrey Feisick. Coach Feisick, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, it's, as I mentioned, probably a fun and exciting time in the life of Liberty Creek volleyball, being in your second season of existence now. And last season was a big one, winning that district championship in your first year. And, kind of looking back on that a little bit, can you reflect on how special that run was as a first-year school and to hit that mark in your first year?
Coming in as a first-year school into the districts, we kind of had a target on our back trying to be the next up-and-coming program within Sumner County. And I kept telling our girls that you just have to focus at one game at a time, and the outcome will come and the results will come. And they did exactly that. And the results are there. They won their first district championship, which honestly, I had no expectation of winning in our first year. I just wanted to get us established and have a strong foundational program for the next year.
You entered that district tournament as the third seed. You had to pull off a couple of upsets, one against White House Heritage and the other against Macon County. But a pretty strong stretch through that district regular season. Just how did your players kind of come together, and what did they do in particular in that district tournament to be one of one now in getting a title?
Our main focus towards that win was to go back and look at the games against White House Heritage and Macon County to make sure that we were learning on our mistakes and understanding why we lost those games, but also to focus on the present and not let all of our past mistakes or tendencies really get in our head during those games. I think the girls did a great job of coming together, communicating, and making sure that they stayed present throughout the entire match.
Can you kind of reflect on maybe what happened in those previous matches where your players maybe weren't present, as you mentioned there, and how they kind of flushed that and put that in the back of their minds during the postseason last year?
Well, Liberty Creek is a montage of a bunch of different students that are coming from different schools. So when we enter into those gyms and it's their old schools that they used to go to with their old friends, it kind of puts the stress and pressure on them, not only of the game itself. So I would say when we came through first of going to White House Heritage and going to Macon County, it was new. We're still fresh. We're still trying to come together as a team. And unfortunately, it kind of takes a toll on the players from the mental aspect of volleyball.
And going through that from, that district tournament run and then into that region round a little bit, what does the offseason and the ensuing preseason throughout this summer look like for you guys? And has there been any differences that you guys have done since last summer?
Well, one big difference is that we have a gym and we have workout facilities this year. Last year, we were in C2 Attack Volleyball Club in Hendersonville trying to get our practices in. Didn't really have a gym to work out at. We went to Happy Hollow Wellness a couple times to get our workouts in. But this year, the difference is that we have equipment. We have the preseason, actually, of where we can do off-season workouts and get together still, where last year we didn't really have that opportunity.
How have you seen that kind of benefit your team?
I've noticed this year there's almost a more cohesion between them. Even though I have a lot of returners, even with the new individuals and the difference with JV and varsity compared to last year, the girls have really come together very quickly. Compared to last year, it was more, we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. We're all new. We don't know each other. And this year we have some comfort in knowing each other, but they've been really focused on working hard, getting their job done when we're in practice or workouts, and making sure that they're supporting each other.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago here on the Sumner County Sports Show, we talked with Bill Alexander, Liberty Creek football coach, and he mentioned a similar thing there with the comfort level in year two, kind of being able to relax a little bit maybe and take a breath or two during the preseason as you enter into the regular season. How have you kind of seen that apply with your program? I think you touched on it there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to, since about April or so, we've had open gyms. We've been able to do workouts with each other. So the girls have had a chance to actually interact on a longer period, where April last year, I was just getting hired into the program and was establishing myself. We've established it ourselves in the gym and have been working hard. We've been able to do team camps. Our June practices were very productive. July has been productive, and we're feeling pretty strong and ready to go into the season pretty soon.
Kind of going back to that Alexander talk that I had with him, he said that around this time last year, he was just trying to get to know names and figure out who's who whenever you're jumping into a new school and a new program. Was that a similar situation for you at Liberty Creek?
Yes and no. I knew some of our players because I did coach at C2 attack volleyball, so I knew some of the girls that were coming in. I didn't know all of them, but I had 32 tryout last year, and that was my main goal of learn everybody's names, learn where they come from. But it was a quick process, and we were able to start our family very quickly.
When you look at that season as a whole, and maybe even now, you're still establishing a program here volleyball wise. What do you think some of the challenges were that maybe happened during the season? Cohesion, just trying to get, maybe 15 or 16 girls to really connect and gel together.
Well, any team that you form always goes through those main four stages of forming, storming, norming, and performing. And I think we did perform, but I think we kind of sat in the storming and norming portion because we had such a short preseason compared to other schools. We didn't have a ton of time where we could actually work through any conflicts we were having as a team and really discuss them, because we were constantly, okay, it's practice this day, it's a game this day, it's a game tomorrow. We have to stay focused. We can't really focus on what's going on within the team. And this year, we're actually having the opportunity to sit down, learn from mistakes, discuss conflicts, and work through everything together so that we can get past that storming and norming phase and work towards performing.
Well, I think it's probably a bit of a different scenario when you look at, the schedule of a volleyball season as opposed to football or golf or even cross country, where the schedule is pretty hectic. I mean, you end up with multiple games in a week. And, when you look at it from that standpoint, how does that factor in maybe to what you're talking about there with maybe storming and norming and getting to gel and, figuring out your team whenever you have so many games that happen, over the span of just a couple of months?
The biggest thing that I've noticed, at least in all the programs I've been a part of, not only as a player, but as a coach, is really taking the time to discuss as players of what has happened so that we can learn from it very quickly. You're right. The season goes very quickly. You have 2 at minimum games per week, sometimes 3, and then sometimes you have a tournament on the weekend. So pushing everything under the rug and trying to look at it like maybe next week in practice is not really an option. So the biggest thing that I've established this year is these are the expectations, and I expect you guys to come through and talk about them and bring the issues up immediately so that we can talk about it, in addition to me bringing up their mistakes from a game or from a practice and what they need to do better. They've been really good this year so far at recognizing what they're doing wrong during a practice and making the adjustment immediately instead of waiting till the next practice to make an adjustment.
What kind of benefit is that to you as a coach, not having to maybe harp back on something in two separate practices? If your players are able to correct and recognize that there is a problem in that practice itself.
It allows us to keep moving forward. I mean, we have multiple different levels of girls throughout the program. Some may that need additional coaching or explaining, or some that are at a higher level, but it allows us to push the program to be all on the same page, all at the same level, using the same types of tools and knowledge that I expect my girls to have by the time they graduate.
You had 4 upperclassmen on last year's roster, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and honestly, that makes the district championship run all the more impressive when you look at that roster construction. But can you kind of talk about this year's club and how that roster has changed a little bit?
Our roster has changed with having only 1 senior this year and 4 juniors. We're still a very young team with freshmen that have come on in addition to a big sophomore class. We haven't changed a ton by, unfortunately, just losing some really good players that were a big impact for us and made a good impression and helped really establish that foundation in our first year. But fortunately, we have a lot of strong players that have came back and are ready to keep building the foundation that we laid last year and know the expectations compared to last year.
Yeah, you touched on it there. Did those players that you talk about kind of left a hole? Were those just graduations, or did any kind of move away, or what was the situation there?
2 of them were graduations. One is focusing on beach volleyball. Another one has decided to go down the cross country track, and then the other one decided that she just wanted to focus on school in her senior year. We definitely miss them already, and I tell them that all the time. And we definitely miss our 2 seniors that we graduated last year.
And what kind of challenge does it maybe present being a second-year school and having to find those players to fill those gaps whenever you maybe in a normal or a more established school, you'd have a couple of years to kind of evaluate someone when in your situation, you've only had 2.
Well, we kind of set a high standard for ourselves last year with winning districts. So the expectation, at least with them, is to carry that forward and keep building upon it. So it kind of creates a lot of pressure for the girls in terms of being able to get that starting position to help make that happen. I told them from the beginning, and I still tell them, every practice is a competition with themselves on who's going to make their position out on the court known. But it makes it very fun as a coach to watch these girls grow, develop, and get more aggression and competition for themselves to earn those positions.
Coach, I wanted to touch on something a little interesting that I found. You coach a men's travel volleyball team. Is that right?
Yes, I coached at C2 again, and I coached our 16-2s team this year.
Yeah, I wrote a story last year about a couple of high schools in this area that were trying and focusing on maybe starting up that sport around here. It's kind of popular in the East Tennessee area, and around the country there are a lot of states that sanction men's volleyball. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the sport as a whole, and if you think it could stick here in Middle Tennessee.
I think it could. It's definitely growing, and I think in the next 3 to 5 years, it could be bigger than what it is right now. I came from Illinois and Michigan down to Tennessee, and up there, at least in Illinois, men's volleyball has been around since I've been in high school. Michigan just got it in the past 2 years. So I think the men's program is growing dramatically and actually very quickly, and potentially we could see a lot of high schools in the area with men's programs.
As a men's volleyball coach travel-wise and a women's volleyball coach high school-wise, what are the biggest differences you've noticed between those two?
Men's is more hit the ball hard, not as much strategy because it's who can hit the ball harder, who can hit it in the right shot. Girls is more you have to be strategic because not everybody has the height or has the vertical that maybe a men's team does. But men's is very exciting just because of the power behind it. And it's exciting when you get a team to actually start focusing on strategy and different shots. Girls, it's exciting when you see that play finally click as a team that you've been working on all preseason. There's a lot of ups and downs to it, and both sides of it are very mental still.
Do you like coaching one more than the other?
I get that question a lot, and the answer is no. I love both. Both of them are exciting. I can't play favoritism as a coach.
Well, Coach, we'll give you one more and then we'll get you out of here. Of course, if you've never, if the viewer's never been to Liberty Creek's facility or never parked near the school, it's just a beautiful campus and, almost college level facilities for the athletic programs. On the volleyball side, what's your favorite part of that facility now that you've had kind of a year to live in it?
Oh, that's a tough question. Honestly, I just absolutely love the gym when it's game day and we have that one court and the bleachers get filled with students and parents and that big roar when you get a big point. That's been my favorite part so far, but obviously we are very grateful for the facilities that we have and the equipment that we have as a program, not only in the field house, but in the gym.
Aubrey Fisek with Liberty Creek Volleyball joining us today on the Sumner County Sports Show. Coach Fisek, thank you so much for your time, and we really look forward to seeing what this year's team has to offer at Liberty Creek.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
That was, as I mentioned, Aubrey Fisek with Liberty Creek Volleyball. We're going to take a quick break here on the Sumner County Sports Show. When we come back, as always, we're going to give you our county-wide storylines. Stay tuned.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
There is nothing better than drinking an ice-cold beverage while taking in a Nashville Sounds baseball game. Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller with Mornings on Main Street. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television have teamed up to promote Sunday Family Fun Day here at First Horizon Park, each Sunday home game. Just go to your favorite Main Street Media website and click on Sounds Main Street Media Day banner to register to win free tickets. and then we'll see you here at the ballpark.
We're back on the Sumner County Sports Show, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. Blaine Keller on the mic, on the air. Justin Kulik behind the computer screen, producing for us today, as always. Really grateful for his work and really grateful for Aubrey Fisek joining us and talking a little bit of Liberty Creek volleyball and a little bit of men's volleyball in the Middle Tennessee area. So we're going to get into our Sumner County storylines a little bit. One last update on the Full Count Rhythm for the summer. They're back-to-back Ohio Valley League champions. Congratulations to Josh Carmen and the Rhythm for just an incredible stretch. I'm pretty sure they won 15 of their last 16 or 16 of their last 17 if you kind of forfeit at the end of the regular season there. So a very impressive stretch from that team. Their pitching was lights out, and really, in the championship series against Hendersonville, it was Henderson. I knew I was going to make that mistake. The Henderson Flash. It was their offense that did a load of the work. Scores of 6-4 and 8-7 for its second straight title. So I believe that's, if I do the math here, 14 runs in 2 games. And for a team that struggled at the start of the year, acclimating to those wood bats, that's a really impressive mark from this team. And nice end to the season, sweeping Henderson and getting that OVL championship for a second straight year. Also want to give a shout out to Beach graduate Drew Robertson, who's a member of the team, had a solid series. He had 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and an RBI in those 2 games played. Moving on, July 31st, 2023. That was, I guess, 3 days ago. Today's Thursday. So Monday, Tennessee state officials honored Hendersonville native Joseph Newgarden with Joseph Newgarden Day in Tennessee. Newgarden was the Indy 500 winner this year. He's fresh off a pair of wins in Iowa as part of the IndyCar series. He stands second in the IndyCar standings. He's had an incredible stretch recently. These past couple of years, he's a 2-time Indy Series winner. And he's going to go for his first Music City Grand Prix win this weekend. See if he gets it done. We'll have you covered with coverage of Main Street Nashville, Hendersonville Standard, Gallatin News. All of the bases will have photos. We'll have a story. Just congratulations to Joseph Newgarden. And honestly, for me, it was a pretty cool stretch. I don't typically geek out about this stuff, but getting to talk with Joseph Newgarden and then just a couple weeks before getting to talk with Golden Tate, and then in the middle, talking with Josh Berry, who was a classmate in middle school of Joseph Newgarden, and now racing in NASCAR. Kind of a cool opportunity there. Of course, it's always fun getting to talk with high school athletes, but anytime you get somebody in the pros, you take it a little, you're amped up, I guess. I don't want to say I take it more seriously. I take my job seriously, period. But it was all of that to say it was a very cool experience for me, and I'm very glad that I got the opportunity to do it. And of course, best of luck to Joseph on Sunday in his race downtown Nashville. Football scrimmages are underway in the Sumner County area. We've got quite a few coming up this week. Then we've got one more scrimmage week. Then we're at the week 1 start of the regular season for high school football. It's absolutely insane to think the summer went this fast. But with 2 weeks until the start of the regular season, here's where you can find some Sumner County teams tomorrow on Friday. Pope Prep is hosting Nashville Christian. Station Camp is hosting Rossview. The Bison also scrimmaged Green Hill earlier in the week, so this will be their second scrimmage of the week. Westmoreland hosts Gordonsville. Liberty Creek is at Davidson Academy. Beach is at Smyrna. Portland is at FRA. It's Franklin Road Academy. Gallatin hosts Antioch. And Hendersonville hosts Blackman. So lots of pretty fun games to look out for there. I think if I had to pick a favorite, Pope Prep versus Nashville Christian, Jared Curtis. It's a guy who's obviously made waves across the mid-state and in the college coaching ranks. He's got the attention of Alabama. He's got the attention of LSU, of pretty much every SEC and Power 5 conference as a quarterback. He could go anywhere he wants to, and he's just a sophomore. So I think that one would be fun to see how the Knights defense kind of stacks up against it. One more Sumner County football preview update. All of my stories are filed. The photos are in. 10,000 words of transcription are done. The Sumner County Football Preview Magazine, thank goodness, is finished. So really glad to have that finished. As I mentioned, 10,000 words of transcription almost, and 9 in-depth previews, a couple of feature stories. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and our designer Pam Wingett, got to give credit to her. She does an incredible job as well, and we're really excited for you to pick it up once it hits racks in a few weeks, and be sure to do that. Be sure to give it a read and check out all the teams and see where they're at heading into the fall. Going to take one more break here on the Sumner County Sports Show, give you our closing thoughts when we come back.
There is nothing better than drinking an ice-cold beverage while taking in a Nashville Sounds baseball game. Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller with Mornings on Main Street. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television have teamed up to promote Sunday Family Fun Day here at First Horizon Park each Sunday home game. Just go to your favorite Main Street Media website and click on Sounds Main Street Media Day banner to register to win free tickets. And then we'll see you here at the ballpark.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now?
Sumner County Sports Show is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. I'm going to give you one closing thought here. It's kind of a somber one. I know that two of my coworkers, Russell Venozzi and Tyler Palmatier, made a similar note on their show this week, but just wanted to honor and respect the recent passing of one of our former coworkers, and Donovan Stewart. Whether I was in Robertson, just a couple of years ago or a year ago, or in Sumner right now, like I am, Donovan was a huge help, a huge asset, and a huge friend that I could rely on to help me with my coverage. He was a huge part of what we were doing at Main Street Preps with a couple of columns, and of course his mid-state and statewide coaching news. Donovan was always on, the right path. He always knew something as it was happening. I would either get a call from him with a frantic, "Hey man," or I would call him trying to think if I had him beat on a scoop, and he would just finish my sentence and tell me where this coach was going or what this coach was doing. Donovan was a great guy, and I'm really grateful for how he has helped me in my development as a sports writer. So just wanted to pay my respects to his family. I'm praying over them and hoping for peace in what is a really difficult time. And, the news was devastating. If you ever need it, know that you are loved and valued in this world. So that wraps us up on the Sumner County Sports Show. We will be back next week. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all that you do as Sumner County sports editor. Thank you.